They are a compass, a map, a crystal ball, all for you to help you interpret, understand, and move beyond and into the next versions of self. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Hello there, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so grateful you're here today, and I cannot wait to dive into this conversation with you. If you've ever woken up from a dream and wondered, what was that all about? Whether it felt bizarre, deeply symbolic, or even strangely predictive, then this episode is for you. Because today we are talking all about dreams, what they are, why they happen, and how they can be powerful tools for intuition and personal insight. By the end of this episode, you will have a deeper understanding of what science tells us about dreams and why our brain creates them, the spiritual meaning behind them, and how they've been seen as messages from the divine throughout history, and how your intuition plays a role in your dreams, including prophetic dreams, deja vu, and those moments when a dream gives you real-life information. And also, as a special treat, at the end of this episode, I will be sharing a few channeled messages specifically for you, sharing more insight from our guides about what they want us to know about our dreams and how we can better understand them. So get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Let's start with what science tells us about dreams. Dreaming is one of the most fascinating mysteries of the human mind. We spend about 2 hours each night dreaming, yet for centuries, scientists have debated what dreams actually mean. At a basic level, dreams happen in the REM stage of sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement, and that's when your brain is highly active, almost as active as when you're awake. Researchers at Yale University explain that during this stage, our brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and even works through problem-solving scenarios. What's really interesting is that even though our body is at rest, your mind is simulating experiences. Some scientists believe this is a survival mechanism that helps us mentally rehearse situations so we can better respond in real life. And have you ever had a dream where you're being chased or we're trying to solve a puzzle? Well, scientists believe that your brain might be actually practicing responses to stress and uncertainty. So when you're feeling stressed about a job or something coming up, or you're feeling nervous or having a lot of emotions going on in your real life, you can have dreams that are playing out certain scenarios and working with that energy and emotions to prepare yourself for what you might face. Another key idea with dreams that scientists talk about is that dreams reflect your subconscious mind. These are the thoughts, feelings, and worries that we don't always process during the day, so they will tend to show up in your dreams in a symbolic way. That's why working with your dreams by reflecting on them or keeping a dream journal can be so powerful, because it's going to help you see patterns and uncover what your deeper self is trying to tell you, the subconscious under the surface mind. And while science focuses on dreams as a function of the brain, spiritual traditions have long believed dreams carry deeper meaning. They can offer guidance, warnings, or even divine messages, which brings us to our next section. What do dreams mean spiritually? Across cultures and throughout history, dreams have been seen as sacred. Many ancient civilizations believed dreams were a way for the divine to communicate with us. In indigenous traditions, dreams have been used for healing, prophecy, and guidance, and ancient Egyptians saw dreams as messages from the gods. In the Bible, we can see dreams as guiding people toward their purpose, like Joseph interpreting the Pharaoh's dreams to predict a famine. The idea that our dreams hold wisdom beyond our waking mind is something many spiritual teachers have long embraced, even if science hasn't gotten there yet. And in modern times, this translates into the practice of lucid dreaming, where you become aware that you're dreaming and can even control the dream. Some use this as a form of deep meditation or even astral travel, experiencing realms beyond the physical world. And this happens because once you're aware you're dreaming, you're able to actively adjust or shift your dream. For me, lucid dreaming looks like often I am aware of what's happening in a dream. Usually it clicks when something's happening and I don't like it, or I'm about to get attacked, or something's about to go wrong. And I'll go, wait, this isn't real. I'm going to reverse that. And I'll push myself back in time and redo that outcome into a way that feels really good. I've also lucid dreamed when my father or a past loved one has come forward, because something in my brain realizes that's not true anymore. If he shows up and is spending time with me, my brain starts to question and go, wait, you're not real. I know this isn't real. And yet I'm still able to have a very loving, sometimes simple connection with him. Even though I have that higher awareness, I don't usually change things in those dreams, but I become aware. So that's one aspect that you can look more into, learn more about. Lucid dreaming is its own very vast topic. There are many things that you can learn from that or do with it. So look into that if you're more curious. So continuing on this thread, how can we tell if a dream is just the brain processing information or if it's a deeper spiritual message? Well, you can start by paying attention to how you feel. Did the dream carry a strong emotional charge? Did it feel different from an everyday dream? Maybe more vivid, symbolic, or where you have a visitation from a loved one? Usually there's a sense that something feels stronger. There's a pull, like you wake up and you're like, that was just different. Also, did the dream stay with you after waking? Almost as if it was nudging you to remember something important. If a dream stirs something deep within you, there is likely a message in it for you. But dreams aren't just reflections of your subconscious or spiritual messages. They can also tap into something even more mysterious: intuition and prophecy. Have you ever had a dream or known someone that had a dream that later came true? Or had a dream that gave you insight into something you couldn't have otherwise known? This is where intuition and dreams can begin to intertwine. Many people report having prophetic dreams, where they receive glimpses of future events. And while science often dismisses these as coincidences, there are some studies that suggest our subconscious is always picking up information, even things our waking mind overlooks. If you think of it spiritually, there is a sense of a collective energy and a collective mind. So it would make sense that we could go in and tap into information in this field. That's essentially what intuitives and people do when they're accessing things like the Akashic records or the quantum field. There's an ability to push towards that energy and receive it. And when we're sleeping, that field gets a little bit more muddled because we're reaching both really far internally, but also more open and perceptive to other things. And examples like this are, maybe you had a dream about someone you haven't seen in years, and then suddenly they reach out the next day, or you learn something about them. Is it a coincidence or not? In an example of my own mother, she often will have dreams about people she knows or even celebrities who pass away in her dream. And the next morning, she'll see on the news or hear in a phone call that that person passed that night. So it's really interesting. And there's tons of stories about this on this topic, as well as books and research being done. So with my own experience and understanding and hearing experiences of people that I know, and what I've learned on this topic, I think that it's possible that on some level, our intuition picks up on the energy before it's happened, or before someone comes and contacts you, or before someone passes away, or during it. I think there's a lot more integration and connection than we even understand. And this is where we can start to see how time itself may play a role as well. So back to imagining that field of energy and that collective consciousness, there's also the knowing that in quantum physics, time is not as linear as we experience it in daily life. It is an agreed upon construct our minds use to create order. And many spiritual traditions back this up when they teach that time moves in cycles or spirals rather than a straight line. And this could explain why we sometimes dream about events that haven't happened yet, or receive messages from ancestors across generations, or experience deja vu, where we recognize a moment as if we've already lived it. And if time is truly cyclical, then everything, the past, the present, the future, is happening at once. And if we're all connected on this deeper energetic space and level with this field, it makes sense that dreams might simply be tapping into a different point in this spiral or in this field, allowing us to glimpse insights beyond our current perceptions. And what if deja vu isn't just a trick of the brain, but rather a memory of a future moment that our soul has already touched in the dream state? There's also the topic of ancestral dreams, where people receive wisdom from past generations and share dreams where two people have the same dream on the same night. These experiences remind us that dreaming isn't just personal, it's deeply connected to the collective energy around us. There's many things within this space, from people receiving messages, intuitive insights, to ideas around something to create or innovate, and guidance from past loved ones or ancestors, or from different beings or energies outside ourselves. There's a lot under this topic of dreams that we're only just starting to make sense of. But I think that's where it can become very interesting and fun to start to pay attention. So if you wake up from a dream that feels important, trust that feeling, write it down, reflect on it, because your intuition might be showing you something very powerful and meaningful, because our dreams are here to help us. Like we talked about, our subconscious is processing, it's moving through emotions, it's protecting and visualizing possibilities. And then there's also the realm of we're learning things, we're integrating or receiving information, and it's another way we can grasp new insight or energy or process emotions. Dreams are a really beautiful, broad and powerful vehicle for our bodies and our soul to utilize. So let's look at how we can actually use this knowledge in our daily lives and talk about practical ways to work with your dreams that will help deepen your intuition. Dreams are one of the most powerful ways your subconscious and intuition can communicate with you. But if you're not paying attention, then you miss the messages. So here are a few ways to start working with your dreams that I have found really helpful. Firstly, keep a dream journal. The moment you wake up, write down whatever you remember of your dreams. From the smallest details to just an overview, recognize the feelings, the emotions, what you do remember, and capture it. Because over time, patterns and themes will begin to emerge, and it gives you a space to process what you were dreaming. Secondly, identify symbols. Dreams will often speak in familiar symbols, images, information that is relevant to you rather than very literal meanings. So, water might represent emotions to you. Flying could symbolize freedom. And this is going to look different for everyone. So it's really important that you take some time to clarify, what do certain things mean for you? What value do you place on them? What beliefs or understanding do you have? And make sure that when you're reviewing your dreams, that you do it through a filter of your being, of your reality. Because while there are consistent themes and symbols that we can look to or Google search and can be helpful to start to understand possible themes or information that they might be attributed to, always make sure you're coming back to yourself and your own filter and giving it your own meaning. Thirdly, set intentions before sleep. Before bed, ask for guidance through your dreams. It can be something simple like, show me what I need to know, and then see what happens, see what comes up. Once you start working with this and start setting intentions consistently, you can also start to play with what that intention is. So if you're wanting guidance around a specific thing or you have a very specific question, begin to ask that. And give it some time. You might need to ask it for a few days in a row, and maybe a dream in weeks after is going to come in and you're going to connect that, oh, that was what that's talking about. But have fun with it, because setting the container is going to help lead your subconscious mind and your guides to where you're trying to get insight from. Fourthly, trust your feelings. Not every dream needs deep analysis, but if a dream feels important, it likely is, and honor that. Lastly, be aware of what you're consuming before bed. We've learned that what you are taking in, reading, watching, thinking about before bed is going to often be reflected in your dreams, or there might be subconscious themes that come forward because that was the last thing that was on your mind and that you were processing and thinking about. So be aware of what you're consuming and how you want to have that space before sleep and bed be and feel. Now let's transition to the messages that I received from our guides about what they want us to know about dreams and how we can better understand their wisdom. Here are 3 messages just for you. Message 1. Dreams may feel complex in nature, and yet in truth they are quite simple. Dreams are a profound construct capable of altering your path, identity, and timeline. You can utilize dreams to bring awareness to aspects of your current self and soul that you otherwise may not see or understand. They are a compass, a map, a crystal ball, all for you to help you interpret, understand, and move beyond and into the next versions of self. Remember that this journey of life, at its essence, is about experience and growth. So that means you're focusing on what you can feel, learn, do, be, and how you can heal, integrate, and expand in this lifetime. There is no boundaries or limitations for the soul. Yet in the body, there are physical limitations, and thus dreams act as a bridge. Message 2. When you experience doubt, fear, worry, shame, or uncertainty in a dream, these are coming forward because there is an essence of their energy and emotions within your body. You are at a base level, frequency, and energy, and thus you need an outlet to process, especially when you may not want to process these emotions on a conscious level. Typically, higher vibrations and emotions do not show up very often in dreams because those don't need much processing at this level. You can have peaceful dreams, one where you achieve something or feel elation or be really happy and feeling good. But if you reflect in this moment on your dreams and the types that you have, especially most recently, you may notice that those types of dreams are fewer and farther in between those dreams of worry, fear, or the other emotional scenarios we mentioned. When you can begin to understand this, you can let go of any attachments you place on worrying or wondering why you keep having these harsher dreams. It just means there's still more to be processed and understood within your body and being. So acknowledge them, but do not burden yourself with worry. Instead, thank them for showing you where you still need tending and attention. Message 3, dreams are a landscape of possibility. There is so much potential you as a human have within your dreams. Great teachers, innovators, and creatives have all received downloads or insights through their dreams. It is a way for beings and God to push information or insight down into your body and your mind. And this can come from many places, such as an ancestor, an angel, or a cosmic being. But the most important piece here is it comes to you for a reason. Sometimes there is a soul contract that you've agreed upon to undertake or learn or do this thing. Other times it's a way of seeding the planet with new ideas or a spark that will help move the earth forward. Now, what the person does with this message or insight is up to them. And thus we have a polarity here. There can be very beautiful ideas that come forward that are benevolent or have positive outcomes, but they can also be altered to be quite negative or have detrimental effects because we are all creators and we all have free will in the decision making to do whatever we decide. But knowing that dreams have truth and power, and it will be up to you and your intuition to decipher what is your truth, and that is up to you to ascertain. That is where the fun and the magic begins to happen. You can see futures and gain important information or have revelatory insight that will change or shape your reality. So be open to the possibilities of your dreams because they are endless. There is so much that you can do with them and receive. You can begin by interacting with your dreams and asking for support through them, and then examining what comes forward. Those were the 3 messages that our guides wanted to share today. And the big takeaway from today's episode is that dreams are more than just random nighttime experiences. They are windows into your subconscious, bridges to the spiritual realm, and tools for deepening your intuition. By understanding both the science and spiritual aspects of dreams, you can start to see them as the powerful guides they are. You don't have to fully understand it, but you can be open to the experience and start to set intention around what you would like to understand or experience from your dreams. I would love to hear from you if you've ever had a powerful dream, a prophetic dream, or some type of dream experience. Send me a DM or an email and share your story. And if there's a topic you would love for me to cover in a future episode, just reach out and let me know. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this space with me. Until next time, I leave you with the intention of having the sweetest dreams tonight. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.